Or you pay me to be mean to him?
No, I
Because
pay.
I haven't seen that check yet.
I pay Quinn. I pay you in free labor, okay? Like how
Do you know how much free shit I've done for you?
I was just saying that. How you for me. Hello, thank you for joining us on Marketing Beat. I am, and I own a online marketing agency that specializes in pay-per-click advertising. And this is my co-host.
Hi, I'm Beverley Theresa. I'm a social media consultant, and I help businesses step up their social media marketing game, aka not suck.
Wonderful. And we are talking about how to use Twitter for businesses today. Just sheer luck that my sales and marketing manager is here who manages my Twitter account.
Perfect. We can school him.
Straight up.
I guess just to start, I have a list of things that I wanted to go over. So if you guys have questions while I'm going through it, just leave a comment. My number one tip, though, is try and go on every single day on Twitter. So Twitter is kind of its own beast. It requires a lot of management, and it requires a lot of engagement, because if you're not engaging on Twitter, you're probably not reaching anyone, and you're probably sucking at having a qualified following because they think you're a robot and all you do is tweet. So people want to see that you're active on Twitter in order for them to follow you, and not a lot of people like following businesses on Twitter unless it's a business that they're already familiar with. So that's why engaging every day is so important. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but how frequently should you be posting or engaging or whatever?
I would say at least go on every day, and you could go on for 5 or 10 minutes in the... Can you hear that sneezing?
Yeah.
Yeah, gross. I would say 5 or 10 minutes in the morning, 5 or 10 minutes at lunch, and then 5 or 10 minutes before bed. And it sometimes it can just be you liking other people's tweets. It can be you responding to comments or engagement on your own tweets. It can be you just hopping in on other people's conversations and saying what you think too. With Twitter, it's kind of like the people that you wish you knew in real life. So it's not weird if two people are having a conversation and you want to just jump in. Another thing, try to tweet at least 3 times a day. Again, morning, noon, and night, just because there's different people at different times. But if you post in the morning, I find that posting early in the morning has better results than posting during the daytime even. Just because people are probably getting ready for work by pooping with their cell phone, or they're on the train going to work or something like that. So I don't know why, but the mornings seem more successful for me personally. You can try that out. And if you think of the lifetime of a tweet, it's 19 minutes for the average user. But if me and Ameet are following over thousands of people, if you're like us, the lifetime of your tweet on our feeds is going to be much less. So that's why you want to try and get in front of people at different times of the day, just in case they didn't see it. And that's also making sure that you share your blog post or your video that you spent time creating, making sure you share it more than once. You'll see Ameet will share out the Marketing Beat stuff over the entire week, where I'm just terrible at scheduling it for myself. So I just fucking retweet all her tweets and just run off her promotions. So
it's fine.
Yeah,
This is my engagement score.
Whatever. What else can I talk about? Value. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. No, go ahead.
Okay, value over promotion. So think of it as part of your brand. So instead of being for sale now or on sale 10% off, think about what kind of value you're bringing to people besides a monetary value. How can you entertain them, educate them, and make them actually want to follow you besides just to know when sales are.
Okay. So would that in the form of essentially blog posts and other type of media then?
Yeah, like curated or created media. It can even be like, depending on what your brand is, it can be a GIF like Happy Hump Day or something. But again, does that tie back to your social media strategy or marketing plan? Or are you just like tweeting it because you want the engagement, or you need to post something? So when I say like post 3 times a day, I'm not saying like you have to post 3 times a day. If you don't have something interesting or of quality to say that day, then don't fucking post. It's not about filling time slots. It's more about keeping consistent, but also focusing on quality things. So the value over some shitty link that you just found and you're like, okay, I need something to tweet today.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. And then Twitter cards can help with that too. So if you go under ads on your Twitter account, there's a card section where you can create Twitter cards, and that just makes sure that your preview for like your blog post or whatever page you're promoting shows up properly on Twitter, and you can kind of optimize it for Twitter itself. I don't usually use Twitter cards a lot because I do the optimization on my website end. But let's say you're doing it for a client and you know that their images aren't feeding in correctly, you can set up a Twitter card and then tweet that card out versus posting a link with no thumbnail or preview image. Does that make sense?
What exactly is a Twitter card, though?
So you'll see like when people post ads, they can customize pretty much the image that is showing. And they can customize like the metadata, but it's not metadata because they're just entering it manually.
Mm-hmm.
You can also add like a caption to that and stuff like that. But Twitter cards are basically like if your website sucks at feeding in the metadata, or say you want to customize it even further, set up a Twitter card. Or if it's like a big promotion and you want to make sure that everything looks perfect on Twitter's end, you could set up a card for it as well. So in the past, I've set up Twitter cards for my mailing list. And I use the same Twitter card all the time, and it was like subscribe to my email list or die or something like that. But that was easy for me to set up because I didn't, on my landing page that it was pointing to, I didn't actually have a feature image or a preview image, and I was able to customize the text that went with that Twitter card, as opposed to just feeding in like subscribe now. It was like I can customize it even further, one step further than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Another good tool is Twitter lists. I'm a big fan of Twitter lists. I wish that I had been a fan of Twitter lists when I first started Twitter, because my following, like, I would like to ideally separate Edmonton people from other people and put all the marketers into one category. But I have like a list on my account of people that I really like. Ameet, I guess you can be on it, or I guess you are on it. But people that I really like in the community, and people that I want to make sure that I don't miss their tweets. So I have a list of that. And also like people that I want to get to know more or connect with more in real life, I'll have them on a Twitter list as well. You can also create lists with people you're not even following. So say you wanted to follow your competition, you can create a private list and then follow your competition with that. And then it's kind of easy. Instead of going to each of your competitors' Twitter pages, you just go onto that list and you can creep on what they're doing.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, and you'll notice too, like, if you are at, so for example, we were both at iMedia, you can create a list from the hashtag iMedia, and so you can have like iMedia 2019 attendees or something like that. And then it will add everyone who's hashtagged iMedia in one of their tweets to that list. You can do it manually or use a program for that. But then you have all the iMedia tweets in one area. And then also like if you forget who you connected with and you're like, I know that they have Twitter, but I forget their name, you can look at the list and see if they're there. Another thing that I get asked quite often is how many hashtags should I use? And this also ties back into auto-posting to Twitter from Instagram. It's fucking ugly. Your hashtags don't translate on Twitter because people aren't searching for hashtag YEG lifestyle on Twitter, whereas on Instagram they might be. So I would say for Twitter, up to 3 hashtags and no more than that, unless it's like something that is relevant to a lot of hashtags. But again, like if I post something about social media, I'll usually just use social media or social media marketing, and then I'll also add digital marketing. And those are the 2 main hashtags that I would use for those. It can look really cluttered if you use more, and like the auto posting from Instagram to Twitter, you're not customizing for your audience on Twitter. So I see a lot of social media managers who do that, and it really makes me mad because I'm like, stop being so fucking lazy. Even if it's your personal account, like I'm lazy when it comes to my personal account, but I'm still not at the point where I'm like, I'm just going to cross promote or cross automate these platforms to post the same shit. It's like, no, because you wouldn't do that for a client, so don't do it for yourself.
Fair enough.
Social media managers. Hashtag whatever.
Follow like competition and stuff like that too?
Yes, you can. So what I would do is I have a Google Chrome extension, and what I do is I go onto my competitors' followers, and then you can run that Chrome extension and follow everyone that's following them. Again, this is automated, so you want to take it slowly, but you can also do it manually. And if you do it manually, I think you have a better chance of following actual real accounts, because lots of people have like spammy followers they don't get rid of or anything like that. So I think doing it manually is a safe way to do it. And you can also see who they're interacting with on a regular basis and then start following those people. So if you go to their tweets and replies or mentions and replies, whatever it is on their Twitter profile page, you can see like, oh, they're talking to this girl, AdWords girl, a lot. Who's she? I'm going to go follow her. And then it's all like, oh, she does AdWords, so she must have clients who are interested in digital marketing. Let's see who's following her. And then it kind of goes off into like the deep ocean of Twitter following.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. And like, not a lot of people think about doing that, or they're like, oh, that's like not ethical. But I'm like, it's public information. Why wouldn't it be ethical?
I mean, it's the same notion of following on Instagram, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, same
I
shit.
don't know. I don't know what people's problems are. And then like to get those qualified followers, you actually have to follow people. So a lot of times people are like, I'm not getting any followers. I'm like, well, are you following people? And they're like, no. I'm like, go out of your way to like follow people and engage with them. And usually they'll follow back if they see that you're a real account. Like I have no problem following businesses as long as I can tell that there's a person behind it and they're not just using it as a broadcasting tool. Do you follow a lot of businesses, Ameet?
No, I follow a lot of people in the industry. So
Yeah.
I use it as kind of a news feed for myself in case something new happens. At least I'll be right on top of it versus finding out 4 days later because I don't read the blogs as often as I used
Yeah.
to.
No, that makes sense. I also made it a point, I don't know if you want to try this, to follow people and that aren't in the industry, because they're the ones who will usually need my help as well. So the referrals that I get are mostly from normal, non-industry digital marketing people. So I don't know. It might be worth a try to do that, to make an effort to follow real people. Because we're fake people. I don't know. You know what I mean.
We've crafted our lives on social media and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. And then like with your tweets, you want to make sure that you stand out. Like there's so much noise, not only from other businesses, but from friends and families, that you want to make sure that what you're tweeting and what you're putting your time into stands out. So don't be afraid to use emojis if they match your brand. Don't be afraid to use an exclamation mark. Maybe you don't use 2 in a row, or maybe you only use 1 exclamation mark per tweet. It really depends on your brand and tone document, or whatever it's called, the one where they outline like how your brand sounds and how they write. And if you think of Wendy's, like people were loving Wendy's because they're so unique on Twitter, and they weren't like any other social media like fast food account, that they stood out, and then everyone started following Wendy's. So it's not a bad thing to stand out. Just I guess, take a risk, but be very careful with that risk. Making it personal. So I always say, like, you'll see more results or quicker results if you represent your own brand. So you can be Ameet Khabra marketing tweeting, or you could be Ameet Khabra actually tweeting. And people will resonate more with Ameet Khabra because you're a real person behind it, behind the account. You talk about personal things and not just about business. Whereas if we are following Ameet Khabra marketing, it's going to be all just PPC talk, I guess, or like links about digital marketing and SEO and things like that. So if you are a business and you have like someone who's willing to be that person, usually it's the owner or the president or someone who has like a permanent position that's not going to quit and leave. You could try that as well for them to represent your company. Like there's no harm in having Ameet Khabra marketing and AdWords Girl, but I think that AdWords Girl would have more success than Ameet Khabra marketing.
Yeah, I agree.
Makes sense. Yeah, and like, because people want to follow people, they don't want to follow brands unless you're already like an established brand, like Vans or General Electric or something.
Yeah, I get that. That makes sense.
And then make sure you attach a piece of media to your posts. So it's really important just because it attracts attention. So media can be anything from like one of those Canva word over pictures things, or a video or something like that, or a photo even. Just make sure that you mix it up a little bit and try different types of media. Sometimes I just post a lot of just plain text and I won't include media just because I'm lazy or I'm out. But you can also like look up a GIF or something like that if you don't have time to like actually source an image or create an image, and then use it for customer service. So making sure that if people are responding to your business or tweeting your business with issues, that you're responding to them. And the typical response rate people expect is within an hour. That's for some brands is like, they can't do that. That's too much time, or that's too little time to respond. But you should just know, like, try and aim for like the quickest response possible. And then Periscope, lots of people forget about Periscope, but when you go live on Periscope, it's much like on Instagram that they will notify your Twitter following, or they'll tweet it out saying that you're live, and people who have Periscope on their phone, and if they follow you on Periscope, they'll get a notification saying AdWords Girl is live on Periscope. And usually they'll just hop in and see what's going on. But not a lot of people use Periscope anymore, which is kind of unfortunate. Because when I'm bored, I like to go on Periscope, and like there's like this whole community there of like just people broadcasting what they're doing during their day. One of my friends went to Walmart and she Periscoped it, and she said she had like 50 viewers. I'm like, that's really weird. But that, like, I thought was really cool. Lots of marketers used to use it, but I think it's kind of forgotten. But I would even still test it out, because if not a lot of marketers are there, maybe it's something that you can try and be the authority on.
Would that be the same as going live on Twitter in itself?
Yeah, so Twitter and Periscope are the same company. Oh. Yeah. And that is my list. And I like 5 minutes left.
I have a question.
Yes, dear.
Quinn and I are working on like getting the blog up and running and stuff like that. So once we actually have it up and running, how frequently should we be promoting it?
So I use an app called Missing Letter, and it just promotes it for me. So it promotes it the day I press publish, or the day that I set it up properly in Missing Letter. It promotes it a day later, then 3 days, and then I think 7 days, and then once a week-ish, and then it goes after like a certain point, it goes to once every 3 weeks. So like keep publishing it, even if it's like a year later. So with Missing Letter, I should just work for them really. I'm not an affiliate, but with Missing Letter, it will publish my posts for up to a year. So I wrote a post on how to find a social media consultant. That post is already scheduled till 2020. And I don't have to touch it or do anything after I approve what the posts that they create for them are. And It's a really easy app, and the free version of it is really great. It's missing letter without an E at the end. So it's just R, no ER.
Okay.
Yeah. And I subscribed via AppSumo for a lifetime subscription, which just offers, I believe, just more customizations for quote templates. And also it can auto-publish to Medium for you, too.
Oh, that's nifty.
It's a secret.
Damn, I wish I got that.
You can still, the free version is still pretty good. Like, I was using the free version until AppSumo got it.
Yeah, but they've got rid of the free version completely. That's all.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Free right now.
It also works with Facebook as well. But I think it's worth it just because I don't want to go through and like it will pull quotes and pull images from your post and do that part for you, but it allows you to review everything before they post anything. So it's not like those ones where they're just like, oh, we'll just automate it for you on your behalf and post it without you knowing. Like you get to take a look at everything and edit it as you see fit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something to look into if you're into that, people.
Missing letter. Okay, so next week on Marketing Beat at 10:30 Mountain Standard Time on Wednesday, what are we talking about?
We're talking about 3 paid digital strategies for corporations.
Okay, so follow me at AdWords Girl to get notified or follow both of us. You can watch a replay of Marketing Beat, just not last week's because I forgot to download it, on our YouTube channel. If you guys have any questions about Twitter or PPC or social media, DM us, slide into our DMs. If not, we'll see you next week at 11 Mountain Standard Time on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining us. We love you so much. Mama.
Okay, end it.
Okay, bye.